Living in a flawless family isn't exactly what I'd call living the dream, especially when you feel like the black sheep of the gene pool. Hey guys, I'm Nani, 17. I've got power energy for days, but my height? Yeah, it's low-key tragic. I am standing at exactly 4 feet 11. I live in a house full of towering giants. I'm not even exaggerating. We're talking international supermodel parents, an older brother who's basically a human skyscraper, and an older sister who's a walking Pinterest board. And then there's me, the tiny, glitchy typo in my family's giant genetic code. Whenever the camera crews show up at our house for interviews, he makes me completely invisible. He only lets the press get shots of the flawless Adam and Amy, while my mom physically herds me back into my bedroom. She'll cut my face, looking at me with this suffocatingly heavy love, and whisper, "We're just protecting you, Nani. You're too precious to deal with all that noise." Dad always says the entertainment industry is toxic and that the public just wouldn't understand our family dynamic. Precious? Or am I just bad for their brand aesthetic? Honestly, being the family's hidden child is just an unspoken confirmation that I don't actually belong here. But every time I look at my brother Adam, the literal hero of our city, I get motivated to keep dreaming. I idolize him. I mean, who wouldn't want to be as strong and fearless as the captain of the rescue squad? I always tag along to his training sessions. It is so cool. "Check this out, Nani," Adam yelled, casually deadlifting a massive tree trunk. I gathered all my courage. "Adam, can I try the rope climb? Just once?" He laughed, like that booming, echoing laugh that fills the whole yard. "Come on, my cute little mascot. Those ropes are for real knights. I'm always going to be the big, strong knight who keeps my little princess completely safe, so you don't ever need to touch them." Cute little mascot. My smile instantly flatlined. He didn't even see me as someone capable of being strong. To him, I was just some fragile accessory that needed protecting. I was fuming. I stormed home because I knew I always had Amy, the sister who loves me more than anyone in the world. Amy is the dictionary definition of effortless perfection. Whenever we go out, it's like a literal spotlight follows her around. People stop, stare, and then it's always, "Oh my God, Amy, you look stunning. And is this your little sister? That baby is so adorable." Baby? Bro, I am 17 years old. It's a bitter pill to swallow, but I just smile and take it. But Amy always snaps back at them. "This is Nani, and she's the most amazing girl in my life." God, I love Amy so much. She's so gentle. She always tucks my hair behind my ear when I'm having a bad mental health day, whispering that I'm special. But the problem is, she's the only one who sees it. Nobody else does. I wanted to be like Amy. I wanted to be the girl who makes people turn their heads, not the girl who makes them go, "Aww." I needed to grow up. So I stopped running to Amy to comfort me every time I felt bad. I needed to grow up. And that's when I decided to make my move. I'd confessed to Liam, my best friend, the school's hotshot, and the guy I was 100% sure felt the same way. He was always so sweet, picking up my favorite snacks, helping me with homework. I was so confident. I ran to find him, only to see him looking all dreamy with a giant bouquet of roses. I couldn't wait. "Liam, I really like you. Be my boyfriend?" He froze, then looked at his friends and snickered. "Nani, you're sweet, really. But you're like a cute little keychain. You're adorable to carry around, but not exactly girlfriend material. I like someone with a bit more presence, you know?" Just then, Amy walked by, waving at us. Liam's eyes lit up like a Christmas tree. He went from cool guy to puppy dog in love and sprinted over to Amy. I just stood there, shattered. I wasn't even a person to him. I was just the little sister of his real crush. I went home and cried my eyes out. Amy tried to come comfort me, but I locked my door. I literally could not look at her right then. But then I had this crazy idea. What if I became Amy 2.0? Amy's closet became my VIP section. I started my glow up. I threw out all my bright, bubbly tees for her chic, sophisticated fits. I ditched my sneakers for high-heeled boots so I could hit that ideal height, and practiced walking like a model in those clunky things, just like how Amy effortlessly glides down the school hallways. My plan actually seemed to work. My first day in Amy mode, the vibe in the hallway was totally different. "Oh, Nani, you changed your style? Very classy," Sarah smiled at me. "Love the fit, Nani," some guy said as he walked past. Was this validation? Yes, it's working. They finally see me. I felt like I was leveling up every day, getting closer to the mature aesthetic I was craving. But here's the tea on perfection. It hurts. Like, physically hurts. By third period, my shins were screaming. By lunch, my back felt like it was tied in a knot. And walking in those boots was a full-time job. I used to be the girl who would literally sprint to the cafeteria to snag the best food and the best table with the best view, leaving everyone else salty. Now, I could only carefully drag myself around in those massive boots. I couldn't even smile anymore. I thought I was getting better, but I was actually just erasing myself. Every time I said no to something fun because it wasn't Amy, the real me just faded a little more. I didn't realize it then, but perfect Nani was draining all the joy out of my life. That night, my feet were literally crying for mercy. I had walked around all day like a stiff mannequin. I snuck into Amy's room to return her clothes, but the sound of her sobbing stopped me dead in my tracks. Through the crack in the door, I saw her. She wasn't the flawless sister I knew. She looked so small, so fragile. Amy? I couldn't help but say her name. She turned around, mascara completely smeared, looking absolutely nothing like perfection, and choked out, "I can't do this anymore. I hate the cameras. I hate the diets. I just want to be invisible." Suddenly, she reached out, hugged me so tight, and sobbed, her voice all raw. "Nani, you're so lucky. You don't have to force yourself to be perfect. People actually let you just be yourself. I'm so jealous." My hands started shaking. I held my breath, watching the girl the whole world worshipped crying her eyes out because she was trapped in a cage called public image. She looked like a girl who just wanted to breathe. Those words hit me harder than Liam's rejection ever could. I looked at Amy, and then I looked in the mirror. I saw a girl wearing her sister's clothes, a girl so obsessed with being taller that she forgot how to stand on her own 2 feet. It wasn't a light bulb moment. It was a literal earthquake. I had spent months hating myself for being short, while the person I was trying to become was desperately wishing she were me. Perfection? It's just a shiny filter we slap on to hide the fact that we're all completely broken inside. And there I was, squeezing myself into a box that the person inside was trying to break out of. I was wearing a cage, and I thought it was a crown. Summer break finally hit. My family went on a hiking trip led by Adam, the ultimate survivalist. But nature has a way of humbling you. Out of nowhere, a tremor hit, causing a rock slide. Adam moved fast, getting us to safety. But nearby, a little boy from another group slipped and fell into a super narrow crevice, gone in a blink. Adam was there in seconds with his gear. He pressed his broad shoulders against the rock, trying to squeeze his muscular arms into the tiny gap. But he got stuck almost instantly. "It's no use!" he yelled, his voice cracking. "It's too narrow, I can't reach him!" I looked at the gap. Then I looked at Adam, my perfect brother, the giant, the hero, desperately and helplessly hitting the massive boulder with a hammer. I didn't even think. I rushed over. "Adam, I can do it." He looked at me, totally stressed. "Trust me," I told him. I quickly grabbed the safety harness from his hands and strapped it on perfectly. That narrow crevice? It was literally made for me. With every tight squeeze, I realized something. For the first time in my life, my size wasn't a curse. It was a superpower. I slipped through the rocks with an agility I didn't even know I had. I reached the boy. His eyes were wide and sparkling as he looked at me. "I got you," I whispered. I pulled him up, and when we reached the surface, dead silence. Then, the crowd erupted. Adam pulled us out, his arms shaking, and hugged me so tight I couldn't breathe. "Nani, you saved him." He finally saw my real strength. My parents and Amy ran over, crying and wrapping me in a massive hug. They were sobbing from pure fear. And get this, the boy's family rushed over, and it turned out to be Liam's little brother. Liam walked up to me, looking at me like he was seeing me for the very first time. His eyes were full of shock, respect, and honestly, deep regret. A month later, the city threw a massive ceremony for me. I stood on that stage wearing the most comfortable pair of flat sneakers in the world, custom made for me by Amy. Then the VIP guest walked up to present the Medal of Bravery. The whole room went dead silent. She was super tiny, but she was wearing the imposing uniform of the National Crime Squad. She was covered in medals, and her aura literally dominated the entire room. She pinned the medal on me, looking at me with these sharp, warm eyes I recognized from an old photo in Amy's room. "You carry the warrior gene, little girl," she said, beaming with pride, and let out this booming, hearty laugh. OMG. It was my grandmother, the legendary captain of the National Crime Squad. Because of her high security clearance, I hadn't seen her since I was a baby. It blew my mind. That night, our family had a real, honest talk. I realized they loved me unconditionally. They were just super clumsy at showing it. Dad confessed he had a massive public failure once and almost broke from the media backlash. He saw how much pressure Adam and Amy were under, and he just wanted to completely shield his youngest daughter from that toxic spotlight. Mom admitted that when I was a toddler, I climbed a high counter for some cookies and took a really bad fall. And since then, her anxiety took over and she overprotected me to keep me safe. Adam, the ultimate hero in my eyes, fully acknowledged my potential and officially invited me to join his rescue squad. My dream literally came true. I also pushed Amy to follow her own dreams in fashion design, and the whole family totally supported her. What about you guys? Have you learned to love yourself today? Don't forget to hit follow and drop a 5-star rating on the podcast so you don't miss our weekly drama. Bye!